So, we begin our session. Last time was really just dedicated to slaying the necromancer, I believe, who you learned was not a wizard like you, but instead a priest of Sayers. You ended up teaming with, let me grab his name out of my notes, Byron, the half-elf, if I'm correct?
Yeah, half-elf. Byron the half-elf.
And slew him with Mikey in tow. I think we ended the session with the three of you, everyone except for you being very hobbled, kind of wandering back towards South Van, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's exactly where we ended, as you finally hear the horses make that noise. But that's where we are. You begin to wander towards South Van. All of you very wounded. You eventually reach the outskirts of town. A small crowd gathers, seeing you all rather wounded, and they begin to ask questions. They're like, "What happened? Where'd you go? Is he dead? Did you save our towns? Did you save us?"
Yes. I just say yes and just keep walking.
Okay, you say yes and keep walking. Byron raises his long sword and announces, "We slayed the foul necromancer," pulling out his undead minions from his grasp, and then removing his head, rightfully so.
I give Mikey the bag with the head and kind of gesture for him to I don't know, show that to the crowd or something.
Okay. Mikey will pick the head out of the bag, hold it by the hair, and show it to the crowd. The crowd will gasp in awe. Some people will give up a cheer. Others will be turning their children away from the sight. But generally, it is excitement and glee these people feel. There begins to be a chant of El Red, and they go, "Heroes, what? El Red, the Dark Slayer, Slayer of the Dark, and Byron, Hero of the Light." A couple people announce these are your new titles, at least to them. And Mikey goes, "I'm here," and he kind of waves the head around, but he gets much less attention than either of you. He is a first-level fighter, though. At this current juncture, he did level last session. But
wait, who struck the killing blow? It was Mikey, right?
I think it might have been Mikey. Yeah, I think Mikey ran in behind him and stabbed him through the back.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, mm-hmm. I kind of make mention of that. Okay. Mikey deserves his due.
How do you do it? What do you say? The crowd surrounds you. People cheering. Mikey's holding up the head.
I basically say it was a long and hard battle. We fought through a squadron of undead minions, and if not for Byron and my friend Mikey here, who struck the killing blow, we would have not succeeded. And I kind of...
Okay.
Mikey needs his time in the limelight because he's gone down too many times to not receive any appreciation.
Okay. People will look around. They'll go, "A squadron?" And they will cheer, "Mikey the Mighty! Mikey the Mighty!" as you announce that he is also a hero.
I have to start looking up what these words means in terms of number, because I keep saying battalion and squadron to mean I don't know, a small group, and I don't know the specifics.
You know, in your head you're probably thinking somewhere do these people even know what a squadron is? Even if you do, right? Elred does. Do they? You might have just said you killed 100 to them in their eyes. Not very familiar with those terms. And so the cheering goes on. Where do you head with this large gathering? Byron looks just destroyed. So does Mikey. They look gleeful but weary and almost unconscious. So,
let's see if we can find like an inn to like rest.
you were staying with the local baron. I don't know if you
Yeah,
want to rest
we should
there.
probably do that.
Okay.
We don't want to offend him.
All right, you head to the Mott and Bailey. It's about a mile outside town. It's a long trek, but you get there. And sitting on the gate is a guardsman. He opens it, announcing Elred, the Shaper, and Byron, the Half-Blood. And you are led into the main hall of the keep. There on his iron chair sits the Baron. Again, he looks kind of worm-like. He's completely hairless through most of his face, and from what you can see, the body that's visible. And he's kind of an ugly and little bit gaunt with an overweight body. So his face is thin, but his body is very kind of heavier. He looks almost like a human thumb. He coughs up. Well, it appears you are successful.
Yes, it does.
I will make a tapestry in your honor in my hall. It is very kind of you to have come and assisted us. Know that I see the credit more with you and would be happy to do any favor you would ask, rather than see it as the credit of the Count, who sat patiently in his city.
I give you many thanks for that. But we have some matters to attend to. So I need to get back to my station in the court.
Very well. If you ever need anything, feel free to call on me. And my honor as a Renpike, and on my honor as Baron, I swear I owe you a favor.
All right. Okay. Let's rest. And then we can head back to Wakeport.
You will be told there's going to be a feast. I don't know if you will partake. Your other two companions, Byron goes to rest. He just picks a room out of the keep and lays his head down. So does Mikey, goes to rest where he was before.
I feel like if I don't show up for the feast, it'll be like an insult, right?
Maybe. Do you have an etiquette proficiency?
No, but like because I'm not sure, I'm gonna stay anyways.
Okay. You stay for the feast. The Baron invites some local nobles from the outlying villages and from in town. You can handshake and meet with these people if you'd like. We don't have to roleplay through all of this exactly, but how do you present yourself in this situation? And then we'll give a charisma check based off of how accurately you perform. Are you aloof? Are you getting smoothed up with the people of this barony, or are you just kind of regaling your story and trying to increase your legend? What is your goal with this dinner, perhaps? This feast?
My goal is simply to just meet people.
Okay.
I kind of want to give the impression that this is more like a meet and greet. I'm not trying to do anything like in particular, like in terms of like servicing my own like legend or desires or anything like that. It's just to meet people, make connections.
You can throw me a charisma check to see how well you meet and greet with the local lords and ladies.
Charisma is 10.
It should be at the bottom of your stat block. 10, yes. So a d20 plus 10. Looking for a 21 or higher at least.
Oh no. So close.
Oh, you meet and greet with people, but you're you're a stranger in a strange land. You don't know the customs. You go to shake someone's hand. They look confused for a moment and give you a bow and then shake your hand. And you're like, oh, shit, that wasn't right. And then it just keeps kind of going like that, where you're not in tune with the local customs and you're not able to fake it till you make it. But you do meet with people, and they are celebrating you. They appreciate your effort. They ask you to regale your story, and I'm sure you do. And, yeah. The feast goes pretty eventfully in the sense it's joyful and cheery, and everyone's appreciative toward you and thanks you, but you don't think any of these connections are going to come in particular handy in the future. Besides the Baron speaks your tales endlessly, talking about how you are both the slayer of a rat king, defeater of the elven presence, or negotiator, of the elven presence, and slayer of the evil, vile, undead priest, necromancer. And he will regale your tales and kind of boost you up. But otherwise, the feast will come to an end. You're given this large roasted pig to eat. It's wonderfully delicious. And eventually you can retire and go to sleep and wake up in the next morning. And what do? Mikey and Byron will come see you. Both of them were attended by a healer. They're not full HP, but they are no longer totally distraught.
Well, when all the festivities and stuff are done, I just kind of retire.
Okay.
Unless there's something expected of me.
No one bothers you if you just go to bed. Do you wake up in the morning and free to memorize spells and go about your business?
Yeah, okay.
Mikey will ask, what's next the next day? What are we to do? There was some talk last session that you wanted to go visit the elves with Byron. I'm not sure if that's still on your agenda or not.
It is, right, but I would feel like I would have to at least tell the person about my whereabouts. The guy who runs Wakeport, Wakewide.
Claris Wakewide. You could send a messenger if you so wanted to. They have that ability. They generally have messenger pigeons and could also, for cheaper, but I'm sure that's none of your concern because that would go out of the Baron's pocket at this point. They could send a boat to sail that direction very quickly. Small sailboat.
See, the issue is also like I don't want to look suspicious because like if I'm with the elves for like some unspecified reason, right? I might be getting ideas.
That would attract likely the attention of the Baron.
Yeah, I think I'll just go straight to Wakeport. Then we can talk about it later.
Okay. If you
I'll
tell...
say good.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'll say goodbye to Byron, right? And tell him that I still do plan on going to the elves in the Mon Forest to kind of ask questions about something that occurred in Wakeport.
He'll wish you would do. He says, if you ever need a sword arm, I'm welcome to split the loot with you again. This was very profitable for me. He looks to his
I can
scroll.
imagine. All right. I will summon my my mount, and I'll also summon a mount for what's his face? the Mikey, and then we can go to Wakeport.
You will summon your mounts. Just give me 2 seconds. There we go. Okay. You will make it most of the way to Wakeport. By the end of the day, you'll get about here. You could trek through the night and make it there tonight, late, almost morning. Or you could rest in the woods.
Yeah, I think I rest.
You will rest. You and Mikey set up camp. He's willing to take watch for most of the night if you just want to get a full night's rest. He's starting to learn that you need to sleep to memorize your spells. And as long as he gets to sleep at Wakeport, we'll call an all-nighter for you if you so wish.
That's fine.
Okay. He'll do that.
Do elves get that thing, the trance in this version?
No. You're talking about, like, not sleeping?
Yeah, that's interesting.
I have never been a fan of that.
They introduced that in 3rd edition?
I'm not sure what edition it got introduced to, but you do have reductions. You have like a 90% resistance to enchantment and charm, which includes sleep spells. Still, but
yeah, I understand. I was just like wondering if the trance thing was actually a thing, but it's fine.
Yeah. During the night, Mikey will deal with something, but he doesn't wake you up. You awaken, and Mikey will inform you that last night he spotted some kobolds, but he scared them off. They're generally pretty fearful, and he's a pretty decently big guy, about 6 foot, got big muscles.
Kobolds, eh?
Yes. Should we go? Magi?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. You will make it to Wakeport, and as you do, you see at the gates heftier security than when you came in. You end up waiting in this line of people trying to enter the town. Most of them are lumberers or hunters, but you end up like 3rd or 4th in line. And when you get to the gate, they nod at you, knowing you're Elred, and let you past and don't search you, but they did do that to everyone else. It was increased security. Mikey loudly goes, "Wonder what's happening."
I wonder what's happening as well.
Who knows? It could be anything, you know?
Could be. But that's kind of... I just ask one of the people who are in line with me what's going on.
Stuart pronounced that the security had to be heightened because the elves might be trying to sneak into the city.
Oh,
We've been having more issues with the lumberjacks disappearing. Best talk to Stuart about it if you want more of the details. Wakewide's gone, by the way, Mr. Elred.
What do you mean gone?
He took off for the capital. Apparently some important news came, and some of the counts and countesses and princes of the land have gone to meet and discuss politics.
So what you're telling me is that Stuart is running the show.
As is always when the Baron is on leave, the Count is on leave. That's how it goes.
I just kind of walk away at that point.
Okay. You
want my feelings to be known.
Mikey will scratch his head, kind of looking a little bit more nervous than he was before. And you will head to the keep?
Yeah.
Okay.
tell Stuart of my arrival.
You head to the lone stone building in the Sea of Wood, and you get there. The guardsman at the keep will inform you that Stuart will be wanting to see you, and that he is in his chambers on that side room.
I'm gonna go meet Stuart.
All
In the
right. You go to meet with Stuart. Give me just a moment. You go to the side room. You knock on the door, and you'll hear a "come in," and you will see Stuart with his large scroll of laws placed upon his desk. He appears to be reading it. He looks up at you, his hunched back preventing him from fully raising his head in the way that you would, but he looks up at you and gives you attention. Elred, you have news?
I do. We took care of the problem in South Van.
Have a seat. That's very good news.
All right. Yeah, I'm not sure if you knew, but the problem was actually a necromancer, controlling some undead, and we slew him. Me, Mikey, and a mercenary by the name of Byron.
So the problem is completely solved.
Yeah, as far as I know.
And he was a necromancer. How strange. Strange times these are. Many things have been happening. Apparently there is a serial killer in Mid-River. And you bring news of necromancers, and we had this Rat King. And now the political situation between our southern kingdom here and the northern kingdom above us.
Oh, okay. Can you give me a brief explanation of that?
A brief explanation is that there was a border scuffle between two patrols. Wakewide, as he always does, has taken to the capital to tell the Council of Princes that we ought to go to war again, as bad of an idea as that is, if I say candidly so. He will likely petition them for a matter of weeks and then return, unsuccessful.
Is there a reason why he wants to go to war? Like, him in particular?
He loves his sunblade, and he likes to swing it, especially at Northumberland and their people. He is a warlike man, Elred. Although we do not share sensibilities, I do not think you are overly zealous in the same way that he is about those issues.
I am not. I prefer not to fight, being, a man of a learned man. Let me just put it like that.
That is the problem. You should prefer to fight, but only when the advantage is on your side. Which it is not necessarily in the case of the northern region.
Yeah.
They are more experienced in fighting. They have to constantly deal with their blood elves, or snow elves as some call them. Very strange folk.
Okay. Also, the checkpoint in town, what is that about?
Yes, before the count, before Lord Wakewide left, he decided that it would be proper that we make sure no elves were glamoring or disguising themselves to sneak into the city. frankly, I think it's a waste of time. If the elves want to get in, they will get in. The conflict after is what would matter. But he has increased security, fearing some kind of infiltration. I think you would also like to know, in other news here, the vicar is awake.
Oh, interesting.
She has returned to her temple. Speaking of evils below the keep, great evil.
She's not wrong.
Other than that, we simply wait. I have no request of you as of yet, although I'm sure with these strange times, things will occur that require your attention.
All right, Stuart, since you're the only one here, I will tell you, well, that and Vicar, Amelia, who I will be speaking to. Julissa, sorry. I keep saying Amelia. Isn't Vicar Amelia the chick from Dark Souls?
I have no idea.
I think she is, right? That's why I keep saying that. So, Vicar Julissa, I'm going to be seeing the elves.
You're going to be seeing the elves?
Yes.
What purpose?
To question them about the evils that lurk below.
Wait, you are telling this to Stuart, right? Stuart.
Yes, I am.
Okay. And you are going to talk to the vicar as well?
Yeah. I don't see why not, since she was there to witness said evil. So
I don't believe you are in collusion with the elves. I do not think you have the guile for such schemes, but if Wakewide hears of this, he will not be happy.
Well, that's why I'm telling you before I go. I don't feel like we're not necessarily in the same position, right, in terms of rank and authority, right? I don't necessarily feel like I'd have to tell you where I'm going, and neither would I have to tell Julissa as well, right? I'm doing so to sort of abate any sort of suspicion. That this is ultimately in service of like Wakeport, because if there is some like an evil lurking behind, I feel like I need as much information as possible to be able to deal with it, especially if it's magical in nature. I feel like that's my duty as the mage. You see where I'm getting at?
I do. I don't think we share the same sensibilities about how we deal with such evil, but perhaps I will not be a tattletale such as you have done to me when you went behind my back to our liege lord.
That was also in service of the town, right? Like I want to minimize casualties.
Is that what is in service of the long-term goals of the town and the county?
Yeah, it is, because like let's be honest, I don't think you're up to the task of defending yourself from the elves. That's me speaking frankly.
We are very much up to the task of defending ourselves from the elves. That's why there are so few of them left and so many of us. Although driving them out of their woods is a different story versus...
I will say, since I will let it be known that the elves are much more capable than you would think.
What do you mean in specific?
They are in possession of strange magic, and like, quite frankly, I think they're being held by a being that is far more powerful than probably most people would be able to deal with.
Hmm.
Like
Well,
it seems like the only reason why they haven't destroyed you is simply because they have no interest in even leaving the forest, much of anything.
that is your opinion. I highly doubt they could destroy us. Otherwise, I think they would have by now. But
Hmm.
if you think they have some powerful being on their side, I will try my best to investigate this information.
That's what I'm doing right now. Like, I want to investigate further.
And I will not hinder you in your investigation like you hindered me in my plans to help the county.
You keep bringing that up, but like, let's be honest, right? I don't think maybe like if you feel like I'm not helping you, I wouldn't be upset if you went behind my back, right? Whatever.
You wouldn't?
No, I wouldn't.
I may hold you to that depending on the situation.
I mean, I would be upset at the circumstances, but I would understand that you're doing it in service of like what you think is right. Everyone has their own what's the word, way of doing things. As long as it's good natured, I can't blame them.
Some should embrace more efficiency over good natured misgivings.
Fair.
Well, you have no tasks, so how you spend your free time is your choice.
All right. Okay. Tomorrow, I leave, go and rest, and then I will gather Mikey.
Okay.
Hopefully he's kind of more okay, I guess.
Mikey, you will hear from him, went to see Vicar Jalissa about getting healed, and she did heal him. She asked about you and what happened. Mikey says he told her that you killed the necromancer. He doesn't know if that was okay, but he figured you are friends with her or allies. He asked what the nature of your two's relationship is. What are you to each other?
Peers, like work partners, like that's kind of just how I see everyone, right? Like, we're included.
You don't see me as a friend?
Julia?
We've been through a lot together, Elred.
Oh, are you talking about Mikey?
Yeah, Mikey says that because you said you see him that way, and he was,
like we've been through some tough times, so you're on a friendly basis with me. I'm talking more Julissa and Stewart, right? I can't really be friends with them. You understand, like court and all the backstabbing and political intrigue and all that stuff. It's not, I can't really count them as friends. They all have their motives.
It's all above my head, boss man.
Sometimes it feels like that for me too.
We're kindred spirits, Elred. Although sometimes I don't get your elven humor.
No, you'll learn. Or you won't. Maybe it takes a couple 100 years. So.
I don't think I got that long, unless you got some sort of magic to keep me alive.
Yep. So I go and meet Julissa before we leave the next day.
You will meet with Jalissa. She is in her temple. She does appear to have some strange ness to her. She looks normal, except you see the veins in her neck are popping out more green than they did before. Take of that as you will, but she greets you, her long raven hair flowing. Hello, Elred. Welcome.
Hello, Julissa. I just simply came to inform you that I will be leaving for the forest.
I hope you will track down that evil serpent that tried to slay us. If you need assistance with it, let me know.
That's actually why I'm even going to the forest. I'm trying to learn more about what uh, was there, so we can maybe defend ourselves from it. Probably defeat it later.
Yes, I have contacted some other vicars across the land. They have yet to respond, but hopefully they will have more guidance or support for us, depending on the level of problem we have on our hands. The church will act where the state does not. If they do not. I guess you are the state now, Elred, but you are different than them. She gestures her eyes towards the keep.
I don't know if I'm all that much different. Not to say like I'm particularly adept at you know moving around in this like political environment. More so like I don't think our motivations are all that different. I think in some way we do want to help people.
Stuart wants to help the county. You want to help the people. These are different things in my mind, although they share space. That is certain.
Well, hopefully we can work in that shared space.
I believe we have similar sensibilities. We look to preserve life, as you have proven yourself to me time and time again, Elred. Standing against Stuart and his agenda. Oh, I play that memory back in my mind day after day. Brings me great joy.
All right. Well, we will be leaving.
May the ever-loving hands of life bless you. Vilcaro is with you, Elred.
Yes. All right. So, Mikey, let's go.
Okay. Mikey will follow you. He is full HP. And you go to the woods where you met the elves. You don't know where their home is. You just know that you were at that lumber camp and they blindfolded you. Made you drink a sleeping potion. So where do you go in the woods? You just wander?
I go back to the same lumber camp.
Okay. That takes little to no time. You make it there. It looks to be in operation once again. There are lumberers working. Your presence is noted. Someone comes up and asks, "Why are you here? Sup?"
Who is someone? Is it an elf? Is it
a human? It's a human lumber camp. It was abandoned before when the elves had been kidnapping people, but it looks like they're back to work. Although that situation is not resolved, from what you understand.
Yeah, I'm looking for elves. Actually, that's why I'm here.
Oh, well, I'm sure if you sit around enough, you'll see them harassing our men. It's very difficult to cut down these trees when they keep shooting their arrows right next to us or sneaking off with one of our lumberers. I don't know what they're doing with them, frankly.
All right. I'm just gonna wait till something happens. Like, hopefully, I'll walk around. I guess try to get some attention.
You wait for this day. Nothing happens as you go throughout the day. The master of the lumberyard is actually ecstatic that they've gone a day without an elven incursion. He says usually they come in every day. But it turns to night. Do you sleep here? There are people here. There's camp tents and things. You could...
Yeah, I'll sleep here.
Okay. The lumberers ask stories to you and Mikey. Mikey will regale them with some of your adventures. They look excited to have someone interesting here. They look suspicious at you sometimes, but You're starting to get a reputation as someone who deals with problems rather than causes them, so they do end up warming up to you the more time you spend around them. Do you say anything specific, or are you just...
No, I don't actually. I'm
Okay. Just reserved, or...
Yeah, basically. I'm really just about business right now. I'm trying to
Okay.
attract love and attention.
Well, Mikey will say it's time to rest. He looks to you. Are you going to sleep, or should I take watch?
I will no, don't worry about it. I'll take watch.
Okay. What spells do you have, by the way, Elred, just out of curiosity? Memorized. Last time you had armor, protection from evil, burning hands, and mount. I don't know if you want to go with the same setup there.
And yep, I'll do that.
Okay. You go with the same setup. And the night of the forest, the sounds begin to play around you. You're sitting in the lumber cap. Do you go anywhere specific? Do you stay by the tent area? Do you go where they chop the lumber? Are you just...
I go where they chop the lumber.
Okay. You go there. And as you sit there, eventually you'll spot off in the distance a strange light in the woods. It looks bright, and it's radiating from something out there, but it's pretty far away. You can't tell the exact distance, but, you know, you've ever looked through the woods and seen something off in the distance? It looks like that. As you peer into it, there's just a bright light shimmering somewhere out there.
All right. I'm going to cast armor.
Okay.
And I'm going to slowly walk towards there.
You slowly walk towards there. Is Mikey with you, or is he chilling?
He's chilling. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't want Mikey around.
You walk through the woods, eventually coming to what appears to be your acquaintance Loken, the enchanter, standing out there in the woods looking directly at you with a staff that shines brightly with that light. He's wearing green robes. Looks the same as you met him before.
Wow, Loken. Actually, just the person I was trying to meet.
Hello, Elred. How goes it?
It goes... Actually, no, it doesn't go well, right? It goes, pretty... I don't know. We're in times of uncertainty, so we need to talk about the crypt. Well, crypt, the underground portion of the castle. So I did manage to open it.
And you found?
A creature of immense power. That's what I found. I don't even know what it is exactly. Snake-like creature with lots of powerful magic.
Snake-like. And what else was down there?
Symbols, few spells. I don't know if
some of the rumors were true.
Yep.
There is said to be a great artifact in those ruins, Elred, and I need it.
For what purpose?
There is conflict coming to these lands. The gods whisper it into men's ears. The trees speak it to us. And we must be prepared, Elred, for that conflict. I am uncertain exactly what it will be, but I know we will need a powerful piece of magic to fight back its darkness, whatever it may be.
Do you think that there's more to the ruins? Because as far as I know, like the room was pretty empty. I don't know if the creature took the artifact or used it though, because it managed to escape.
I'd have to investigate them myself. Do you want to tell me exactly what you found? And then you can explain exactly what the runes are to him if you wish.
Yeah. In exchange, right, for this information, I like to talk to your lady of the forest, or whatever you call her.
For what reason would you like to speak to her?
To kind of ascertain what exactly her goals are, or what she feels like we can do to alleviate or even help each other, right, when it comes to this great evil that's gonna beset the forest.
Her goals are like mine, to fight this coming evil. Is there something more specific you needed to ask her?
Well, all about her nature as a dryad.
What do you wish to know, Elred?
Oh, so she is a dryad. Nice.
I did not say that. What do you wish to know about dryads, or...
Well, you said enough. It's what you didn't say.
Regardless, what do you need? Or will you tell me the information now? Have I answered enough of your questions?
Yeah, I think you have. I basically tell him that we saw a bunch of symbols with men and elves going to war. I don't know what that's about. To even get into the room, right? It needed elf and human blood. So yeah, if whatever coming evil, if you want to, I suspect that if you want to go further in the ruins, you do need the help of the humans in some capacity.
You speak of ruins. What did it say on that door at the end of the... You do tell him about the final door with the phrase about the bear? Or no?
Oh yeah, I do. We have to defeat the Great Bear to continue. I don't know what a Great Bear is.
I think I know of what they speak. In these woods, Elred, there is a great bear, ancient and malevolent, whatever the word may be. Its name is Byrathiel, and I know of its location.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that. We can defeat the Great Bear, right?
I would hesitate to interfere with Byrathiel.
Why?
He is very strong, and defeating him may... It said defeat him, correct?
Yeah.
Did it say slay the Great Bear, or just...
Do you think we can challenge him to a chess match, right? And and bypass the door?
Well, Byrathiel is a known wagerer. I don't. Are you aware of such creatures that will do puzzles or quizzes with humans in order to trick them or test their skill? Those things. You ever heard of a sphinx, Elred?
Oh, I mean, this is but this is not. I've heard of a sphinx, but this kind of thing is not limited to sphinx. It's isn't generally these stories just happen to to also include like fairies and
Yes.
creatures of the forest and stuff. So is Baratheon one such creature?
Yes, this bear is a fey folk. It is of a different realm and speaks human and elf tongues. It likes to place wagers with humans and bargain for things such as powerful items. Perhaps we could defeat it in such a contest. Or you could, more specifically. Since you have access to this tomb, I assume it is on you to do that.
Yeah, I assume it would be.
Well,
Yeah. Well, let's go see Barantiar or whatever.
you wish to see him now?
Yeah, why not? If all else fails, I'll just try to kill him.
So be it, although I doubt you could, and I will not assist you in such an endeavor for fear that it will interrupt if I assist. We know little of this ruin, and I'm not sure what defeating qualifies as yet. Okay. Loken will lead you through the woods. He leads you with this light-covered staff for about 3 hours. As you begin to get to your destination, Loken will hold fast for a moment, look around, and go, "Do you hear that, Elred?"
Yeah.
You can give me a perception check if you want to try and hear what he's hearing.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
Did you hear that, Elred? As he holds
Yeah.
still in the forest, looking around, holding his
I-
light-covered staff upwards.
I did not.
There are kobolds near. Perhaps they serve Baratheon.
Interesting. Actually, on my way through this forest back to Wake Port, there was some my assistant Mikey said that he scared off some kobolds.
Yes, they infest the forest. I suppose they are a part of the cycle. They serve those who are stronger than them, though, regularly. Who knows if they were in tow with Baratheon or some other creature.
Speaking of Mikey, I'm gonna go get him.
Oh, you're gonna go get Mikey?
Yeah.
He's hours away.
Okay. Let's just continue.
Okay. Out of the woods will come 3 little kobolds. They will say, "Hello, Loken. Why do you enter the territory of Baratheon?" Loken will look to you, expectingly, holding his light staff.
I say, you serve Baratheon, correct?
"We do serve Baratheon, the Great Bear. You are in his territory."
we'd like to see him.
Up here. For what purpose?
A wager.
Small kobold, the little dragon men look up to you, only standing
Wait.
about 2 to 3 feet high.
Out of character question, are they dragon men in this edition or are they dog people?
Some combination.
Okay. Yeah. I tell them that we're here for a wager. We want to wager with Baratheon. We learned that he likes games, so we're here to play.
What do you have to wager?
An item of great power.
That will be acceptable to Baratheon.
It will be.
He yips and yallers, and the kobolds gesture for you to follow them. And
I'm going to ask Loken if he has access to the identify spell.
of course,
Can you identify something for me?
it would take hours. I'd have to
Okay.
cleanse the magical energies.
Sure. When we get there, we can do that.
Do you have a pearl?
Do you?
Yes, but it's quite the prize.
I will compensate you for it. It's what?
So be it. The kobolds lead you to a cave entrance where you see torches outside and more kobolds, about 2 of them guarding the door. The entrance to the cave. You see around the cave are many, many paintings, kind of plastered against walls of this forest cave. They depict mostly a bear in various different sequences. Some of them he looks to be fighting elven-eared creatures. Others he's sitting on a throne. Some he's running through the woods gleefully in. Others, it's various different states where the bear is in action of some kind or doing something notable. It looks to be a brown creature, a brown bear. And they will gesture to you to go in. Loken looks to you. You want me to identify something? We should start now. Although it's not my favorite space.
Yeah, identify this, and I pull out the ring that I got from the Rat King.
Okay. You pull out the ring, you hand it to him, and he will go, okay, I will identify this. It will take a matter of hours, I believe. Okay. Oh, actually, it'll take 1 round per level. And 1 item per level. He asks you if you have anything else you want identified.
Yeah, actually, this artifact right here. And I pull out the dark rod. Man, I forgot to give this to Jalissa.
He will look at it. He'll touch it. He gasps for a moment and... Elred, what is this?
An item I procured from a very evil being.
You won't bargain this with Baratheon, will you?
Why not?
No one should possess this item, not even you.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? I'm actually thinking that it might be a good thing to bargain this with Baratheon.
Why?
Because he'll keep it and not use it. He just seems to bargain with people.
Who
Doesn't seem
says
to.
he won't use it, whatever it does?
Yeah, that's why you're identifying it, right?
I suppose we can see what it does, but I would rather not hand this to Baratheon. Depending on what it does, we can have further conversation. He will take it, kind of disgustingly, take out a hanky and wrap it around it and take it from you. And he goes off a couple yards to go clear a space in the forest to cast Identify. And he will do that. His eyes will go white. Around him, you see a small field of magical force kind of push out. He picks up the item and inspects the ring. He gives a nod. He picks up the black little scepter, wand, staff object, looks at it, shakes his head, and the spell will dissipate and he will walk back to you. This, he points to the ring, or picks up the ring, is a ring of directed animal friendship. It will charm 5 hit die worth of animals to your side, as though you had cast the spell Animal Friendship.
Oh, I can't tell them what to do, can I?
They will follow you. You can teach them tricks over time. Depends on the animal. But they will guard you from danger if you use it. And this, he points to the scepter. I hesitate to tell you, but you do seem good-natured, and I have to trust you anyway for these coming months, it would seem, or these coming ages, depending on how long this evil will arise. This is a scepter of ghoulification. If you press it against the forehead of an unwilling, I assume, subject, they will be infected and slowly, over the period of 5 or so days, be turned into a ghoul outside of your control.
Oh, this seems useful.
For who?
I don't know, for someone who wants to ghoul people.
And you would think that's useful? That is more of a burden to the user and to everyone who comes in contact with such a thing.
Well, burdens are, burdens on your enemy are not the worst things.
There is also likely a limited amount of charges from this staff. Sorry, this rod.
And it will break.
The rod will still be present, but it will be unusable past its charge limit. I discerned that there was a number of charges left. Roughly about 20.
20?
Yes.
That's a lot of ghouls.
Yes. I have heard from Byron very, very recently that you slayed a necromancer. I assume this comes from him?
Yeah, I definitely don't want anyone to have this thing now.
They could raise 20 ghouls, and if you know anything about them, they will multiply, Elred.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, if you even get 10 ghouls in a decent sized town, you could ruin it. Right?
Yes. This thing is
You
pure
don't even need
evil.
20. Yeah, and I know ghouls attack they're really fast. Let me just put it like that. So.
And they tend to stay on the outskirts of villages and pick off their prey. Easy targets.
It does seem like a very useful weapon for war.
an uncontrollable weapon that would kill any innocents it comes across. And also, raising the dead is a heresy of almost every religion that I know of. The gods would frown upon you for the rest of your days.
Depends on which god.
If you're talking about the exiled pantheon, I don't think you'd make many friends here saying you are worshipping those gods, nor among my people, as we worship our mother trees, even though they do not shine their love on us in these lands.
I am just confused as to what to do with this now. Because I don't feel comfortable giving it to anyone.
I do have to take a bathroom break right now, Teo, but I'll let you
Yeah, go ahead.
reflect. I'll be like 2 minutes, so...